As more cases are reported here in the U.S. and around the world, Wall Street is sent into a tumble.
Here's a look at the closing numbers today. The Dow Jones sinks more than 2,000 points, its worst day since 2008, and the S&P 500, it dropped more than 7%. At one point today, stocks dropped so low, they halted trading.
And tonight, we are learning that 12 Marylanders are aboard the Grand Princess cruise ship, which just docked in California this afternoon after sitting off the coast while people on board underwent testing for the coronavirus. This is a live look at that ship right now. There are at least 21 confirmed cases on board. And WJZ has team coverage tonight over concerns about the coronavirus. We'll start with WJZ investigator Mike Helgren.
He's live at the State House with what we know about these positive cases. Mike.
Nicole and Denise, none of those Marylanders who are on the Grand Princess have shown any symptoms as of yet, but they are being monitored tonight. We can also tell you that the elderly woman in Harford County who has tested positive for coronavirus likely contracted it during a visit to Turkey. That is the first such instance of someone traveling to Turkey and getting the illness.
As we begin to expand our testing, we can expect the number of cases to continue to rise.
Governor Hogan said 12 Marylanders were passengers on the Grand Princess cruise ship, which docked in California after days offshore. More than 20 people on board have been diagnosed with the new coronavirus, mostly crew. Thousands were exposed.
All 12 of the Marylanders and many of the other U.S. citizens aboard that ship are currently being transported to military bases in Texas and Georgia for examination and to be quarantined.
Also, 6 other Marylanders were on the MS Asara cruise on the Nile in Egypt, the same ship where 3 Marylanders already tested positive. But those 6 were sailing on different dates.
2 of them are experiencing symptoms.
Right now, it is important for everyone to stay calm and stay informed.
One of the latest Marylanders to test positive for the coronavirus is in Harford County. An 86-year-old woman traveled internationally. She did not show symptoms for 6 days upon returning to the United States.
There appears to be no major exposure to the community, as this person went straight from the airport to home, did not exhibit symptoms until approximately 6 days after returning to the country, did not initially have respiratory symptoms or fever, but instead only had loss of appetite and fatigue.
The patient has 2 family members at home who are quarantined,
who have shown no symptoms and who are being asked to self-isolate and self-monitor for 14 days.
And health officials won't say what hospital she's being treated at or what airport she flew into. The governor announced here today he has a new coronavirus response team. He has canceled out-of-state travel for state workers, and he's especially cautioning those older than 60 in the state to be very careful about being in large groups. Reporting live in Annapolis, Mike Helgren, WJZ.
Mike, thank you. The virus now causing some new travel restrictions and emergency declarations around the world.
And our team coverage continues with Annie Rose Ramos, who has more on how it's affecting people here in Baltimore. Annie Rose?
That's right. The State Department's new travel advisory is affecting everyone from travel agents to travelers here in Baltimore, as there's growing concern surrounding the risks of traveling on a cruise.
A warning for Americans planning for a cruise. The State Department advising U.S. citizens, especially those with underlying conditions, to avoid traveling by cruise ship, claiming an increased risk of the COVID-19 virus.
So I just got back from a cruise.
Baltimore resident Tracy Swando, traveling on a cruise with her parents, both over the age of 65.
A lot of hand sanitizer stations, wash stations, even before you board. And then once you board, there's even more hand sanitizer stations, more washing stations.
Tracy describing the staffers taking the hygiene very seriously.
I felt safer being on a cruise ship than some of my local grocery stores.
On Sunday, Royal Caribbean's Grandeur of the Seas departed from the Port of Baltimore. The company now allowing customers to cancel any cruise departing before July 31st, up to 48 hours before departure, and receive a credit. Baltimore travel agent Mary Joan Levin has clients calling asking what they should do.
For whatever reason that they feel threatened, they can't go. They shouldn't go.
Mary is booked on a cruise leaving next week with her granddaughter.
Please remain on the line for the next available representative.
Holding for over an hour with Celebrity Cruises to cancel.
You know, I was listening to the State Department, telling that nobody should go on cruises right this minute. So both of us have, immune problems, so that's why I'm canceling.
And you can see there Mary canceling her own cruise reservations. Cruise companies are offering credits for future travel, but they're now saying if anyone is showing signs of a flu, they won't even be allowed on the ship. Reporting live from the Port of Baltimore, I'm Annie Rose Ramos for WJZ.